Welcome to this episode of the Retro Gaming Roundtable. And before we get started, let me introduce the rest of the roundtable. We're going to start with Mark from Dad Racer. Hey, Mark, can you show us that awesome sweater that you have on there?
All right, since you asked so nicely, here we go. All right.
Okay.
What do you think?
Awesome,
what do you think?
That's so cool.
I'm prepared for our discussion today.
Excellent. Well, that's an awesome sweater. Kind of put the rest of us to shame, unfortunately. But
I don't know about that. But yeah, thank you very much.
Well, then we got Ryan from the 123 Gamer Man YouTube channel.
Hello.
We've got the Game Shark himself in the house. And we've got Jason from Kind of Cool.
Rocking the standard sweater.
There you go, man.
Looking good.
I'm just in a t-shirt, so whatever. And then we also got our special guest tonight. That is Alex from Ask the Cheese Gaming. It's been long overdue. Thank you for being on tonight, man.
Thank you, gentlemen, for having
hardest
me.
working man in
Appreciate being
YouTube.
Hardest working
Y'all are
man
far
on
too
YouTube.
kind.
There you go. And I
Absolutely.
thought you had kind of had a shout out. We're going to do one shout out tonight. Alex, did you want to kind of
Sure.
do that one?
The shout out that I want to give is I want to give a very special shout out to a good friend of mine and also my favorite wrench on my channel. He just hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mockingjay. Great job, buddy. You deserve it. Onwards and upwards for many, many more.
Awesome.
That was good. That's good stuff right there, man. All right, so if you've read the title of the video or saw the thumbnail, hopefully you saw that we are doing a $25 game challenge. And it's going to be, we're kind of challenging each other to bring a game to the table that's $25 or less, just kind of a budget-minded game, but a game that packs a good punch, get good bang for your buck. And it would be a good thing to buy as a Christmas gift or receive as a Christmas gift, as far as that goes. So we'll kind of tie Christmas into that as well. So we're going to get started, and we're going to kind of go around the horn and see who brought what to the table. And we're going to start with Dad Racer. So, Dad Racer,
first.
what did you? Yeah, you're up.
Okay, well, I know this is a retro gaming show, and you're all going to be disappointed. I chose to choose a game from the PS4.
Nice.
And not only that, I cheated once again. It's not the first time, right? It's a compilation, okay?
Yep.
It's the Cowabunga collection.
Oh.
It's the Cowabunga collection. Probably against the rules, probably immediately disqualified. But listen, I have my cheat sheet sort of in front of me. You can't tell that I'm looking down at it, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time the Arcade, all three NES games, Tournament Fighters games on the Super Nintendo and Genesis, Hyperstone Heist, and the three Game Boy games: Fall of the Foot Clan, Back from the Sewers, and Radical Rescue. Not to mention all the extras, the artwork. I think there's also artwork on here that's previously unseen prior to being put on the compilation. There's save states, there's rewind functionality, there's local co-op, of course, and there's even online capabilities, from what I understand, for certain games, but good luck getting that to work, right? Yeah, and everything for it's going for $21 right now. It's clocking in at $21. So that's my pick. Obviously, this is a compilation of retro games, so that's how I'm tying it into this. And yeah, massive bang for the buck here.
That's an awesome pick, and I consider it retro because every game on that is a retro game.
Exactly.
Absolutely, that's awesome, man. And we would kind of like to hear from you guys. Tell us what games you like that we mentioned. We want to really have this be interactive. We all come in and read comments, no matter on whose channel this is on. And so let us know, and you can even let us know who you thought brought the best game, because we're going to discuss that here at the end too as well. So Mark's off to a pretty good start, man.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right.
I've
Hi.
been camera bombed.
Welcome to the show.
You're sp-
Ryan, what do you
the
got
special,
for us,
the
man?
special guest has a special guest.
Yeah, special guest. That's awesome.
Let's see how many we can maybe that person will bring on another special
There you
guest,
go.
another special guest.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So I chose, so I had the Super Nintendo. I chose the Super Nintendo as the console that I wanted to find a nice budget game for.
That's cool.
The Super Nintendo is tough, you know. I mean, a lot of the games that that are really, you know, good games tend to be fairly expensive, and so but there are some good ones on the system, and it was actually, at first I thought this was going to be, you know, a pretty big challenge, and then once I started getting into the library, I thought to myself, oh, that's under $25, that's under $25, that's under $25, and I actually had quite a few to choose from. I cheated a little bit, just like Mark, so I'm glad that you set the precedent there. I chose, and of course this is a classic, right? I chose F-Zero.
There you go.
And I chose F-Zero in the box, and I'll explain how you can get this for $25.
I'm listening.
So F-Zero, obviously an amazing game. The Mode 7 graphics, I think, hold up. And it's one of those games, it feels very super fast paced. I don't know if it actually is fast paced or if that's just kind of the Mode 7 working to its advantage, because I know that, like, there are all those studies about how Mario runs faster than Sonic, right? So, like, maybe there's some trickery happening there, but my perception, I know, spoiler alert, my perception is that F-Zero is a very fast game, very fast paced, and the thing that I like about F-Zero is that it doesn't cheat. So Mario Kart, right? Obviously, you can get to the end of a race. I'm sorry to say this, Lyndon, but, you know, if somebody has a blue shell, you know, and
Blue shell.
I do too, and a lot of people do. And so, if you're looking for a more fair game, you can still lose at the end of this game if you make a wrong turn and end up off the course. But it is, I think, the more fair of the racing games on the system. Now, how do you get this for $25 in the box? You'll notice up here, there is a little for display only moniker. So here's the deal about the for display only boxes. They were sent to rental stores for advertisement when a new game came out. So in this particular case, it was the Player's Choice, you know, million seller release. And a lot of times those stores would not, they would not put them together, the boxes together. They wouldn't advertise them because it was a game that, you know, maybe they already had out on their shelves, or for whatever reason, they just didn't get used that often. And the ones that did get used probably got thrown away. But if you go online, you will find these boxes in pristine condition that have been unassembled. And so you can buy brand new for display only boxes, and they run about $10 on average.
Wow.
So they're from the era. It's not like you're buying a reproduction or something like that. They were released at the time that the game was released. They just didn't come with a game in them. So they're a little bit different than other boxes because on the inside, they don't have that gray, you know, cardboard. It's more white. So don't get too freaked out about that when you see that. That's typical. And you don't really need to worry about people reproducing the lesser expensive boxes because they only cost $10.
Yep.
So you can get a boxed copy of F-Zero for a total of $25 right on the nose. And I think that's pretty good.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
Nice choice. I like it.
What a great
Thanks.
game too, with tons of replayability, couch co-op versus all that good stuff. So yeah, man, we got some heavy hitters so far. So Game Shark, what do you got for us, man?
Oh man, I wanted to go with the NES. That is my favorite system, and it's what I have the most games for. But as I studied through my collection this week, because I wanted to pick a game from my collection that I know and have played, I kept coming back to this one for the GameCube that's right at $25, complete in box and manual. And it's one that is really fun. I don't care who you are, you can enjoy Super Monkey Ball.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Good pick.
So this is a really fun game. a ton of mini games. You can play pool, bowling, golf. The monkey fight is really fun. There's a race, the target where you fly and you open the bubble and fly down. And the main game is amazing. And you can play 4 players on this.
There
game.
you go.
I don't know. If I was going to give somebody something, I know that them, their wife, kids, grandparents, parents, anybody that sits down and plays this can have a good time.
Yep.
So that's why I kept coming back to this, and I thought this is a great Christmas present for the family.
Nice choice.
Awesome.
Great gets to face the grandparents.
Well, they would at least watch
Right.
this. This is fun to even watch. And like I said, the main game is really long, going through all the mazes and doing it. This is super fun. This is a blast for everybody. So that's why I kept coming back to it over any of the NES games around the $25 mark. I thought, yeah, that's the one. This is a great Christmas present for anybody.
Yeah.
There you go. There's my pick.
That's and look at just the diverse type of gameplay we've got from our first 3 picks. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good selection.
Such a good
Great
game.
pick. All right. So we kind of talked with kind of cool, Jason, and you were kind of going to go a different route, and we thought that was a good, cool idea. So what do you got for us today, Jason?
Well, as you know, this topic kind of shifted and morphed quite a bit, and from where it started, I was going to do Neo Geo AES, and we changed the topic a little bit, and I stayed with the Neo Geo AES. Now, Joel gave me a little bit of flexibility here because obviously finding a $25 game for the AES is very, very difficult, but I think I've done a pretty good job of getting close to that. So Joel gave me basically around $50, that range.
Yep.
So I think I picked out a pretty good game, but I want to preface this whole thing first with saying that to play Neo Geo original hardware, you don't have to go down the AES road. There's a lot of different ways you can play this. First of all, I'd like to start by saying probably getting an MVS might be the best way to start because you can actually save some money that way. And if you don't know what that is, that's basically what was in the arcade. And it played these guys right here, these big honking cartridges right here. I'll hold this up. But this is an MVS cartridge, and this is original Neo Geo hardware. You can play this on basically consoleized versions of the home, basically take the arcade hardware and put it in a home system for you to play, and that's done pretty easily these days. So that's one way to do it. Obviously, the Neo Geo CD is out there as well, which is original hardware. I know a lot of people say, but no, it's a CD, and I get all that. But it is a cheaper kind of entry-level kind of way to get into Neo Geo hardware. But if you're that person that has to drive that, 80s Lamborghini Countach, you just got to do it once in your life. You got to own that Neo Geo AES. There are some options to keep things kind of cheap. And I'll start with saying that there's a way you can actually take the guts of this MVS cartridge right here and transplant that into an AES cartridge, and you can play it that way as well, right? So a couple little small hacks that have to be done to do that, and that's one way to do it. But if you're a traditionalist, you're like, hey, I want to play original hardware, original software, there's one game that jumped out to me. I'm going to pull it up for you right here. I actually have this one, and that is Samurai Showdown 2 or Samurai Spirit 2. This game you can pick up. I know Price Charting has this around, I think it's like 70 to 80 range or something like that right now. But I actually went out there and checked, and recently there were some sold for about $55 and $53. So this is like a $50 plus game for the Neo Geo AES, and this is a quality title. And when you think about the Neo Geo AES, there's so many great fighters on it. It's obviously known to be, a fighting game type system. This is one of my favorite, probably top 3, and it kind of goes back and forth between my 1 and 2 spot sometimes even. So it's a great game. Great value for essentially what's the price of a modern game, but $50, $53, $55, and this is for a complete example. Now, I will note this is the Japanese version, right? It's not the English version, but that's okay because the hardware will be able to play it either way, and the Neo Geo AES will actually, if you have a US version, will play this in English anyway, right? So it's kind of a moot point, I think, that in that respect, but great game for $55. Who would have thought it? And this one flies under the radar. A lot of people say, what's the first game I should get if I get an AES? I always point them to this one because it's a known game. People know about it. It's kind of a splashy title. It's a fun game. It's a good game with a lot of replay value. And it's like $55, right? Now, you might have to shop around a little bit because, again, Price Charting has this. But if you ignore the buy it nows and you come in and snipe the auction, you can get this one pretty easily for that range. And all day long, man, Samurai Showdown / Samurai Spirits, Japanese version 2 for the Neo Geo AES. Who would have thunk it, right?
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
I did not know what you were bringing, and so that surprised me. Great pick because a lot of Neo Geo enthusiasts, that's in their favorite fighting games list. It's
Very
a good
true.
game. It's
Very
a top quality game. I don't know why it's more affordable. Maybe they, made more. I don't know. But
Good question
But
that
it
I don't know
is.
the answer to either. I think
That's
you
a
might
great
be right.
game.
They just made a ton of these in Japan, and so we all win because of that, right?
yeah, absolutely. All right, excellent pick, man. Adding to that, I don't think any of us have picked the same type of game.
Not
So,
yet.
That's pretty cool. All right, Alex, what do you got for us?
All right. If you followed me or my channel, you know my expertise. Love myself the Nintendo 64 and all its wonderful variants. Got my Fantastic right there. Always got to use those. So I found a game, and when I found this, I couldn't even believe it was as cheap as it was. I saw this was like, really? Like, it's that cheap on price charting? Like, and Gamer Man, you're gonna love this one. So's the Game Shark.
Oh,
Yes.
Best single player racing game on the Nintendo 64. Mario Kart's arguably
agreed.
multiplayer, but best single player racing game, like, this is a must have for the console. Some people probably even have this as like their number one for the system. I'm sure most people would say it's easily top 10. I mean, this game, the debate is eternal. Which game's better, Mario Kart or Diddy Kong Racing? But single player wide, and the story and the exploration and just having fun. Got to go with Diddy Kong Racing. I saw this on price charting, $22. You can realistically get this game under $20. I actually got my copy a while back. $15. Still got the sticker on.
Hey.
Nice.
Well
There
worth
you
it.
go.
That's going for the system. If you're a Nintendo 64 fan, like I am, obviously, well worth it. Back
So
to
Alex, how many
Very cool.
how many N64 consoles do you own?
7.
Holy cow.
Awesome.
Fantastic. I need the orange and the smoke gray. Those are the last two.
There you go.
You can make a Christmas tree out of them.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. That looked really cool with your lighting in there. That blue N64. That was awesome. All right, that's a great pick. I still
Yeah.
got to get that game.
Yeah.
That's pathetic, man. I got to get that.
I don't have it either. Yeah.
That's a great pick.
It's such a good game, Alex.
it is,
I'm right
man.
there with you.
I agree
Uh,
too.
You
And I'm
probably
on,
would.
I am on the. I think it's better than Mario Kart and multiplayer
too.
too. Yeah.
There's more play. It is more. There's more replayability to
Mhm.
Diddy Kong Racing. There's more there. Different types of vehicles.
Yeah.
The hovercrafts, the airplanes.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and then when you find the chicken, then it's all over.
Yep. Yep. Drumstick.
The
Drumstick.
chicken. What does that do?
Oh, you
Chicken
just
is
gotta
way faster
experience
than
it.
everybody.
Oh, come on.
This is a no spoiler zone.
Yeah, we can't. He's gonna whip out the Konami code on us here if we don't. Want
Yeah.
I don't know. Here you go.
There
Just
it
don't
is.
get frustrated with the hovercraft. You'll learn it eventually.
Yep. Yeah, what a great pick. That's awesome. Good family fun there. All of them really. So my pick, there's a lot of franchises that in the JRPG realm or genre. But what is the one franchise that's king of all JRPG? What franchise would you guys say?
Final
Final
Fantasy.
Fantasy?
There you go. So I chose a game on the PS1. And the reason I didn't mind the compilation is because this is a little bit of a compilation. And it is Final Fantasy Anthology.
Yes.
Mm.
Mm.
I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the Super NES Final Fantasy games are pretty expensive. You can get them on the PS1 for cheap. This is $25 complete in box.
Nice.
Comes with 2 games, which this is where I'm going to need probably Dad Racer's help. So the first Final Fantasy that released for the SNES was Final Fantasy 2, correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
What
which
was
is
it in Japan?
4.
So this has got 4 and 5 on it, which would
I
be
gotcha.
2 and 3 in the US. So these are the 2 releases that came out on the SNES. 2 games, beautiful manual, and they even added some stuff to it. They added some really cool cutscenes that you aren't going to have on the SNES. yeah, it's really cool. The music I think has been redone and is a little better. Of course, it's CD quality, and better's in the eyes of the beholder, of course. But
Yeah.
it's an excellent cheap way, and I think the PS1 is one of those systems that anybody who wants to start collecting retro games, PS1's a great way to go. Super cheap,
Yeah.
huge library. So yeah, that's my pick. Final Fantasy Anthology.
Nice.
That's a good one.
$25.
Awesome.
Good selection.
So let's do this. Try to remember what everybody picked.
You can hold it up.
And we're gonna pick one game that we think wins, is our favorite game that was brought to this. We can't vote for ourselves, of course.
Okay.
So let's start with Mark. Raise your hand if you thought Mark brought the best game to this challenge. We got one.
All right.
You're in the lead, Mark. You're in the lead.
Hey. It's okay. I don't think I'm going to get any votes.
I don't know. All right, let's see. Let's raise our hand if we thought Ryan brought the best.
Hey, that's a
still
great
thinking
game.
here.
That's a great game.
We got
That is
one.
a good game.
Hey.
1-1.
Thanks, Alex.
Let's raise our hand if we thought Shark brought the best game.
Oh, look at this. We're all neck
Wait,
and
tie. I'll take it.
We're gonna split. Let's raise our hand if we thought Jason brought the best budget game.
It's a specialized market.
It's tough because nobody's
It's tough.
played that version of it.
I'm all right.
I
be
have it. I owned that back when
Oh,
I
you
had
do?
my AES. Yeah, and that's a must own, man.
Very good.
But okay. Now this could be. We've seen rookies come on and just win. I think Game Shark has a win under his belt. So, who votes that Alex brought the best game?
Hey.
3 votes. Awesome.
Diddy Kong for the win.
Very cool.
Yep.
Let us know in the comments. Which game you voted for. Cool. That was a lot of fun, man. All right. So I kind of talked to these guys in advance, so this isn't really a surprise. But we're not gonna have the lightning round. What we're gonna do is have a little Christmas memory or a little bit of Christmas in this episode. And I'm gonna go around and ask everybody, and we're gonna start with Mark again. What game do you associate with Christmas and why?
Well, it actually ties in to this compilation here. It happens to be on this collection, and I talked about it on a recent show on my channel, Christmas Memories, and it's with this game right here. The NES port of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original arcade game that I got in December of 1990 for Christmas. And I talked about how I have very fond memories of playing this in my parents' family room with Christmas lights much like this. They would wrap them around the room and I'd play them in the dark with the warm glow of the Christmas lights. So yes, this game, very, very special to me. It happens to be on the Cowabunga collection. Super cool. I pulled this out as well, this little piece of paper that I'm about to show you from the Shredder's Revenge. It came with the Shredder's Revenge, where they pulled this shenanigans again. Remember that?
Oh,
the Pizza Hut one? Now, you could all steal the code right now if you pause the screen, okay? And you could all get a free pizza. But something very similar to this, just like this, came with the boxed, the complete copy of the NES Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game that most people, redeem for pizza. And very cool to be able to get one of those. Of course, this one, with the Shredder's Revenge brings back good memories of that. But yeah, this is a very special game to me for this time of year. Always reminds me of the holidays, and I always have to play a little bit of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES in December because of those reasons.
Excellent. Yeah.
Mark, I got that one for Christmas of '90 as well.
Yeah.
And I remember the interesting part was how close it was from the release date of that game to Christmas. You had to scramble to make sure you got that one.
Oh, sure.
And
yeah.
I remember having to tell my parents to like go to Babbage's specifically because I knew it would be there, you know, rather than try to go like, to one of the chain stores. And they pulled it off. But I remember that being a really close deal right there.
Yeah. It might have been within 10, 12 days. I don't know.
I think it was. So good one. Great choice, man. I have the same feelings around Christmas time for the same. Thankfully, I didn't pick the same game, but I'm right there with you on that one. So Christmas in '90 was a big deal.
Yeah, thanks.
Probably a lot of people have those. Yeah, that's awesome. Ryan, what do you got as far as a game that you associate with Christmas?
Well, Alex, you're prophetic because I chose Diddy Kong Racing. I got Diddy Kong in December of 1997. That was the year that it released. I think it released the month beforehand. And I associate this game with Christmas for two reasons. Number one, because I received it on Christmas. And number two, because there are several Christmas-themed levels within the game. So if you go to the various kind of snow areas, there's Christmas trees, there's kind of Christmas-sounding music, there's ornaments. It's really, really nostalgic for me. And like I said, or what Alex said, one of the best games on the system. I go back to this game every single year, and I'll even go so far as to bring it home so that I can play it with my brothers because we used to play it growing up. So we'll have a little tournament every year.
Hey,
Very
all right.
cool.
Great.
I dig it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
cool.
Game Shark.
Real quick, I'm gonna tell a Diddy Kong story. I got that one for Christmas as well. Funny thing is, I bought it for my cousin who's 10 years younger than me. At the time, so I was like 19, 20, he's 9 or 10. And I opened it and played it before Christmas. And it was so good, I thought, oh man, this is great. And then wrapped it up and gave it to him. Well, my grandmother had seen that because this was at the campground. And I think I was staying with her while I was saving up to get my place. My cousin was over there a lot. She got it for me for Christmas. So he opened his. And then turn around, I opened mine. But another one I remember getting as a kid that I just love and still love today. This is one I always play at Christmas.
Yeah,
There you go.
Too.
classic.
This one was pretty tough to get that Christmas. I don't remember exactly what year it was. 88? Yep, that's what it says here. I remember we always went to my mother's parents, that side, on Christmas Eve night. And that is the side of the family my cousin Diane is on. If you remember, not too long ago, got me the collector's edition of Tears of the Kingdom because she worked for Nintendo. She did back then too. That Christmas Eve, we happened to go see them on the way home because they were in town to see, that would have been my grandfather's brother. It's her family. So we went over to see them, and when we got there, my two cousins, her two sons, were playing this already. I thought, oh my gosh, how did you get that? What in the world? I'm not even seeing it because back then, I don't even remember kiosks being in stores back then that early. So I got to play it Christmas Eve night, and it just blew my mind. And of course, the next morning, somehow, Santa Claus had found a copy of it.
Nice.
And it was under my tree. And this is a game that, for some reason, that story, going and seeing my two cousins playing it, and I had not seen it yet. Knew it was out, and knew it was going to be hard to get. To get to play it a little bit with them, and then get it the next morning. Great Christmas story. And also, this is my wife's copy from when she was a kid. This is her box.
Wow.
Wow.
Super special. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Amazing.
That's cool.
That's a great pick. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Jason, what do you got for us?
All right, so I got this one right here, and it's not really anything to do with Christmas per se, but I did get it for Christmas. This is Paperboy on the NES, and this is a really beautiful copy that I just got in a trade with Drinks and Games with Josh, actually. And I actually got it for the nostalgic Christmas feels that this game brings to me. I got it on Christmas of '88, so I'd obviously gotten my NES in '87. But, it's obviously still getting games and things like that for birthdays and Christmas. And Paperboy was a game that I really enjoyed in the arcade. And I was excited to finally see a translation come home that would do it justice, And obviously we didn't get the handlebars. That was a cool part of the arcade experience. But this game was a pretty good port, did a pretty good job. And it was a respectable, home transition of Paperboy for the first time, really. And I really got to kind of dig into the game like I'd always wanted to at home. and it was a good experience. I like it, and again, I think it was the only NES game that I got that year for Christmas. So that year was really about Paperboy, and when I think about playing Paperboy this day, I think about that Christmas morning and me asking for that one game and getting it, and all the warm nostalgia feels that come with that. So that's my selection for Christmas joys.
Yeah,
Excellent.
fantastic.
Paperboy was iconic back then, man.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. That's a great
I think
pick.
it's got beautiful looking artwork too, and I like the color and the way it's laid out. I thought it was a really striking NES box, and
Yep.
yeah, just overall solid game, good experience though. So.
Agreed. Yeah. All right, Alex. What do you got, man?
So I actually have two. The first one is a game that I don't own, which is a more recent memory, which is one of the most recent Christmases when my wife and I started dating. Was she got me a game called Spider-Man Friend vs. Foe for the Xbox 360. And that whole winter time through Christmas and everything else, we played that game together. And I just remember coming home every night from work and just looking forward to just spending time with her and us just sitting down playing that as it's like, just pouring snow outside. So, just wonderful memories of that, playing that game with her. But, you were talking about memories other people have shared one with kids. This is the game that comes to my mind.
Nice.
I remember when you were 7 years old. Yeah, I'm going to date myself a little bit here. Just how happy I was to get this from Santa Claus as a 7-year-old. And my grandparents must have dang near had a heart attack when they saw me play this game.
Yeah,
but
no
I
kidding.
played it non-stop during the winter break, and I was just so excited to have it. And even during these holidays, I'll either pop this one in or its predecessor, which is far superior, Mortal Kombat 2. I'll pop in one of these games, take a run through, just have some fun with them, even during these cold winter months. So, like I said,
Nothing says Christmas like
always
fatality.
being that young. Maybe I was Santa Gary. I'm like, Santa, get me Mortal Kombat. I do. Run and call my friend later on. He's like, oh, cool. And then, later on during winter break, he came over. We played it together.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Some great memories there. Yeah, and that makes sense because I associate you with the Nintendo 64, but I also associate you with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, we had to get them both in, right? We had to get them both
That's
in.
perfect, man.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Very
Cool.
true.
I have a couple of memories as well. One was my daughters all pitched in, and my wife, and got me a Nintendo Wii when it first came out. And opening that up on Christmas, and then playing Wii Sports, bowling, just those simple things as a family. Everybody playing, even my wife, that's a big thing. So that's one of the really cool memories I have for Christmas. And then for some reason, Super Mario 64.
Wow.
You know,
yeah.
the Snow World.
You stumped me, Joey.
Yeah.
You stumped me.
There you go. Well, the Snow World is what, level 4? I mean, you get into it really quick, and that just playing that, I got my Nintendo 64 and Super Mario 64 right around Christmas and played it during the holidays. Kids were home from school and they played it and just had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, Super Mario 64. I think for some reason I have to play that every Christmas, every holiday.
Yeah. Snow
That's
levels.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's one of the best games ever made. So there you go. One of the best games ever made that does not say Sega on it anyway.
Oh, you had to say it.
It's only a matter of time.
All right, guys, man, this was awesome. What an awesome episode. So thank you for joining us this week. Ask the Cheese. That was awesome having you on. We'll have you on again soon.
Yeah. Tons of fun.
Again, you bet. It was a lot of fun. Give a shout out to our trade group, Retro Collective, which all of us belong to, and that's kind of how all of us came to know each other, or at least, became very good friends. So
We got
Very
Secret
cool.
Santa coming up too, right? Secret Santa for
Yeah.
Retro Club.
So that kind of inspired, I think, this episode a little bit, because we do that. 25 or up, basically. It's up to you, but at least a $25 value. And whoever wants to participate can, and we did that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We've done it have we done 2 of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Season 3
Third
already.
one.
Number 3.
They get better every year, right? They just-
Wow.
3 years of that. And it's
Yeah.
always cool because we always, we'll film us unwrapping it and maybe post it to the group. Some post it to everybody, and it's whatever you want to do. And then just watching everybody go through and unwrap those presents is cool. So, all right, well, I think we nailed this one.
Hey, happy
Absolutely.
holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Happy New Year, all that.
Yeah,
good
New
stuff.
Year too.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, comments in the comments section. Let us know your Christmas memory and what game you would have picked for under $25. We'd love to see it. So, all righty, guys. Merry Christmas.
Comment and share his video.
There you go. You bet.
Take care. Thanks, Cheese.
Thank you, Cheese.